My husband and I just got married June 7th, 2025, and we were completely scammed by our so-called wedding planner. She literally triple booked our wedding day.
Ah, yes, wedding bliss. Listen, I can hear the bells. Or wait, are those police sirens? So what would you do if your dream wedding turned into a nightmare? Picture this. A month after getting engaged to the love of your life, it's finally time to plan the big day you've dreamed about your whole life. After scouring the internet for a planner who can bring your Pinterest board to life without breaking the bank, you stumble across a local vendor who seems to have it all. Dreamy decor, elegant tablescapes, ice sculptures of hearts that melt into puddles of joy. You message her and she sends back stunning concept boards, custom bars, curated seating charts, and beautiful accoutrements. You could not ask for more. It's everything you imagined, so of course, you hire her. Over the next few months, between dress fittings and finalizing your guest list, you pour your time and part of your bank account into working with your dream wedding planner.
I can do this, I can plan this wedding, and that's just what I'm gonna do. Because I love a challenge, and because I'm a professional!
Everything seems perfect and surprisingly under budget, okay? Things seem too good to be true. Then, on the morning of your wedding, you wake up early, buzzing with excitement and nerves, only to see a text that makes your heart sink into the darkest depths of the cesspool. Your wedding planner says, I'm sorry, can't make it. But don't worry, she's sending 2 of her best employees in her place.
We were the first victims in her whole entire scheme.
After having 3 micro meltdowns and managing not to throw all of your wedding cake at a wall, you take a few deep breaths and head to the venue, only to find chaos.
The rings, please.
Oh God! No! Oh my God! Oh my God!
What you once thought was going to be luxurious decor now looks like a cheap knockoff that not even the most sketchiest of websites would bother to sell.
But then I came across this girl's TikTok post and I found her Yelp review. She seems like a total nightmare.
The bar is broken and leaking, the seating chart is out of order, and before you can process what's happening, the ground is shook by a massive crash. The entire display wall collapses like a scene at a fire festival. And just minutes before you're supposed to walk down the aisle, the room starts to spin in a white blur of eggshell-colored lace as you begin to realize you've been scammed on the most important day of your life. Oh, hi, hello, it's Swoop, and welcome to the dark waters of the Suspool, the place where everything and everyone is sus. Maybe even us. Come on in, the water's fine. Welcome back, Susperians. Are you looking for the perfect venue to host your wedding? Well, look no further than the Suspool. Covered in sketchy sludge, influencer infidelity, and broken promises, you can tie the knot with your boo-boo at the altar where trust issues come to thrive.
It's just not what I'd have picked at all.
Hi, if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to my second channel, and welcome to, okay, maybe I should probably explain, happy Halloween, okay? Hopefully this video goes up by Halloween. This would be very awkward if this winds up going up after Halloween, but so I let y'all know in the last video, I decided, you know what? I am exhausted, okay? I am a tired woman in this economy. I'm tired. And so the most effort that I could possibly put in was to open up, I said, I'm gonna open up AmazonPrime.com. It's a website, okay? It's out there, it exists. And I'm going to just get the first couple of costumes that are recommended to me. So the first one was Little Red Riding Hood, and the second one was whatever the hell this is. I think that this is supposed to be Harley Quinn and clown. So it's like Harley Quinn. I don't know, y'all, okay? It's been a long day. And I was like looking at this thing and I'm like, I actually don't know what's sadder right now. The representation of Harley Quinn, the representation of clowns, or me. So here's what we have today. Welcome to the chaos of my brain. If you're new here, welcome. This is my second channel. On my main channel, Swoop, I do full-length deep dives. Okay, I'm a little more serious than we are over here, because over here we don't do deep dives, we dip. We skinny dip into the dark waters of the cesspool where everything is unhinged. So welcome to the chaos. If you're into, mind bending, sometimes dark, sometimes twisted tales, subscribe to this channel. Bring a towel, tell your friends, and go ahead and tell the like button that you saved her a whole bunch of Halloween candy. But when she opens the bag, have it shoot out all these slimy pumpkin guts that you carved out the week before, right into her face.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my goodness.
You need a good one there, here we go.
actually, I should note, about 30% of you who regularly watch this channel week after week aren't yet subscribed. And you might even actually think that you are, so check that. And you can also hype this video on mobile. It's a new feature. You can hype, you get little hype points, and you can hype the video. That helps it. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can also join our Patreon community for exclusive access to 4 more videos per month. That's 4 more exclusive, uncensored, unfiltered videos per month. Plus you get the entire back catalog of videos available only on Patreon, including the podcast, extended episodes, all of that stuff that I just can't post here. Okay, Suspirians, before we dive into the chaos, can we have a moment and talk about how this whole adult thing is basically just like a full-time juggling act? Like, we're expected to work, stay hydrated, work, hit our goals, work, sometimes maintain a social life, work, and then what, come home and cook a well-balanced meal from scratch? Absolutely not! Which is why I love Factor, who gives me the flexibility to stay active and stick to my food wellness goals with just 2 minutes in the microwave. So a huge thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's video. They've been such an amazing supporter of our community. Factor's meals are fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved, delivered right to your front door, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Honey, that is faster than the time it takes me to enter a room and then actually remember why I entered that room. Now, I've been eating Factor every month for over a year, and not only has every meal been delicious, like seriously, I do not understand how they do it, but every meal has just been so good, but it has also been such a stress-free time saver. And Factor keeps leveling up. They've expanded their menu to 80+ rotating weekly meals, which means you'll never get bored. Whether you're looking for high protein, calorie smart, vegan, keto, Factor's got you covered. And let's talk about flavor, because this is not your sad microwave meal era anymore. Like, I just had the most delicious ginger teriyaki salmon with roasted cabbage, forbidden rice, sesame green beans, and roasted onions one night. I actually have ordered that multiple times. It is so good. And then I had a truly mouth-watering smoky Gouda macaroni and shredded beef with toasted garlic, green beans, and Parmesan butter the next. And honey, oh, the audacity of these meals being this good. I'm sorry, but the meals they're just giving chef's kiss. Plus, one of my favorite parts, Factor lets you customize your meals at no extra cost. So you want to swap out proteins? Done. Prefer beef over chicken or turkey over pork? Easy. And they've doubled their seafood and high protein options. Everything is portioned and balanced with no refined sugars, no seed oils, and tons of flavor, so I can stay on track with my goals without even thinking about it. And the best part, no grocery shopping, no meal prep, and no dishes, which means I finally get to use my evenings for something other than cleaning the kitchen. So if you're ready to ditch the grocery stores, the meal planning, the prepping, doing the dishes, and actually enjoy your meals again, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SWOOP2FB50. That's SWOOPTOOFB50 to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. That's code SWOOP2FB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 year, and treat yourself, honey. You deserve it. Okay, grab your nose plugs, your flotation devices, maybe a little bit of your dignity, and let's dive in to the Suspool.
She literally triple booked our wedding day.
In June 2025, lovebirds Alexa and Todd were getting ready to tie the knot in their Ohio hometown when they arrived at their wedding venue to find everything in shambles. The heartbreaking scene left Alexis and her guests reeling, prompting her to post a now viral story time that exposed one of the most prolific scammers to ever make a splash in the Suspool, her wedding planner.
My husband and I just got married June 7th, 2025, and we were completely scammed by our so-called wedding planner.
You know, it's one thing for your wedding to be a disaster because of like an unhinged cake smash or an even more unhinged mother-in-law.
Oh my God! Oh my God, oh my God.
But being scammed by your own wedding planner is a whole other level of nuptials nightmare. Not even a 2000s, rom-com starring Jennifer Lopez could do justice.
And that's just what I'm gonna do. Because I love a challenge. And because I'm a professional!
Which is why this couple had to take their heartbreak to the court of public opinion. the For You page.
You were the first victims in her whole entire scheme.
Now, she wasn't necessarily an influencer, but she would occasionally make, cute videos documenting her life and sharing her favorite finds, as so many people do. Her most popular video before Weddinggate was a Kohl's shoe haul that racked up 500,000 views. I did not know that people were clocking Kohl's at the rate of 500,000 views, but listen, get those shoes, okay? Get the shoes, get the boots, girl.
50% off, lowest ticketed price, absolutely unreal sale. All right, let's get into it.
But in July 2025, fresh off her dream honeymoon and still dealing with the fallout of being scammed, allegedly, gotta use the allegedly, but we'll see, by her own wedding planner, Alexis recorded a 2.5-minute story time that reached nearly 1 million views and took over the internet, opening the floodgates of the Suspool for other victims of the same scammer to share their stories as well.
I don't know this girl, but I owe her a drink because I too reached out to this exact company.
Now, the caption for part 1 of her story time says, quote, "Part 1 of being scammed by our wedding planner. She needs to be held accountable and give us all a refund." Literally, in this economy, give the money back. If you're gonna scam and then you get caught, give the money back. It's really that easy. Now, right off the bat, Alexis set the tone that this wasn't just, petty drama, but perhaps petty theft. Let's watch.
My husband and I just got married June 7th, 2025, and we were completely scammed by our so-called wedding planner.
Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of pausing and stuff. So here she has what we ordered. So you can see these images from the wedding planner. It says outdoor bar, you get 2 bars with wallpaper. I just need to, when you zoom in on the bar image at the top here, it looks like a cabinet, and then it looks like they just cut out these squares, Photoshop them over the thing. The square is appearing over the top of whatever this floral thing is at the bottom here. It's literally just Photoshopped. This is not even a real image. And then what the hell are these ghosted people? Okay, I know it's Halloween, but why we got these group of ghosts just cheersing with their champagne glasses right now? What is this? I'm in the 6th circle of hell, and it involves dropping the opacity of your Photoshop image, dropping it to 50%. And then below, here's what she got. Oh my gosh, wait, is that a piece of plywood on the top? Okay, there's more here. So there's concept. Wait a second. I gotta point out, y'all. Look where it says concept board. It literally is spelled with an S. It's literally concept. So she was told to duplicate alphabetical order. So this is for the guest, seating arrangements. And what she got instead looks literally nothing like what she ordered. Table 7 and 8 is missing. Oh my gosh. The 7th and 8th table for the guests is just missing. They are ghosts too. They must be those ghosted. The previous thing, the ghosted people, these are the people that were at table 7 and 8, okay? They're just out. The spirits are out there. And then what? What? What is this? I had to say that in a southern accent this time. What? Why? What is this? What? I don't understand. So we literally, can we zoom in on what is happening in the ground situation here? There is a disaster has fallen upon an already disaster situation. All of the frames are smashed on the ground. Why is everything in a puddle of water? And who is this poor person, this very unhappy individual who's literally holding this up?
I want to start off by saying the biggest part of this all, that was the most shocking, was she had no-showed for our rehearsal and for our wedding. Texted us the morning of the wedding saying her 3-year-old son was going into emergency surgery and she was not able to attend the wedding.
So she's saying, I can't come to the wedding. My son is having emergency surgery.
For us to find out that not only did she double book our wedding day, but she literally triple booked our wedding day. She promised.
Stop. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm laughing because this is so absurd. I'm not laughing at her, what she went through. Y'all know, okay? We laugh. We laugh when things are just so ridiculous and unhinged. And this is very unhinged. What do you mean you triple booked? Who would dare double book a wedding? You're a dick, double book dick. And then who would triple book? How do you have 3 weddings on the same day that you have booked to be at? How would you even have the resources and the supplies to support 3 weddings? Because I don't think this busted ass display where this unhappy smiley face person is holding the up. I don't think this is the result of a triple booking and like, oh, she's just getting the scraps at this point. I think this is probably all she had in the first place.
Us all the same decor, the same rentals, and that she would be there, you know, leading our wedding day as she was the only one any of us had discussed our wedding with and how it was supposed to be.
That's literally part of the job of the wedding planner, right? Not just to like do the planning, but then to be there and make sure things run smoothly. Give the cues, send the salad out, send the dessert out now, so that the bride and the spouse don't have to deal with the stress.
Knowing that she could never be in 3 places at one time.
Right.
The main selling point for all of us who have fallen victim to her scheme is her beautiful decor that she advertises.
So here's the concept board again. The seating chart, we took a look at that. Here's another example, I guess, of a seating chart because it's got alphabet, you know, here and then listing and like all of these flowers and everything. And that's beautiful. And so what does it say down here? We love custom signage for weddings. It creates such a nice touch that everyone remembers. With our talented team, we can create customized look for your wedding to have your guests wowed. Well, they were wowed, all right.
We have since learned that majority of her pictures and her advertisements on her social media are stolen from other creators across the United States.
Wild! Literally those images that we just looked at, that they are using to promote and, oh, we create custom signage, are literally stolen images. This is not their work. This is a stolen image from another wedding planner.
Shout out Google Reverse. You know, that's false advertising.
Yes.
Oh, and one other major part I forgot to include was that she blocked us, my husband and I, in the middle of our wedding.
Ah! Can you imagine going through life? You're born, you grow up, you make a business, and then you have the audacity. And then you have the actual whole grain audacity. Can you imagine that is your trajectory in life? And then when the clients find out that all you have done is sold an actual show, you block them mid their wedding ceremony. Wedding's happening, blocked, taking your money, bye.
And if that doesn't show guilt, I don't know what does.
I don't even think that's guilt. I think that's crimes. Now, Alexa's part 1 story time was just the tip of the iceberg. Other Ohio brides who had also allegedly been scammed by the same planner lit up the comments saying things like, quote, currently fighting with her as well, so that's not a good sign. And one bride sadly admitting, quote, we had a very similar experience with this vendor. It is truly heartbreaking. Someone can do this to any bride, but yet she has done this to multiple of us. And like, again, think about it, like a lot of people, if you're gonna go through the trouble, the hassle, the stress, the finances of planning a wedding, you have this vision in your mind, you know, that you want for yourself and for your memories. And that's just like, it really sucks. You get one time to do this, most of the time. I mean, obviously there's divorce and sometimes people have more than one wedding, but you know what I'm saying. And as Alexa mentions in her expose, all it takes is a simple Google reverse image search of the concept, how do I pronounce concept with an S? Concept boards, photos to basically discover that, yeah, they were stolen. On the wedding planner's Instagram, which is now completely wiped off the internet, these glamorous designs were originally captioned, and I quote, with our talented team, we can create a customized look to have your guests wowed. And she proudly advertised them as her own, and they were very much wowed when they found out that hey, you ain't had with making those wedding decorations. Meanwhile, the Google image search reveals that this seating chart structure was actually built by Maxwell Builds and Designs, a California vendor who's done celebrity weddings featured in Vogue. Susan, what the hell? Susan, did you have anything to do with? I don't trust you today. But again, if you're paying good money for it and you want it visually, that better be the best damn Etsy wall in Ohio, okay? Not whatever the hell this is. Seriously. What the hell is going on here? Really, what is this? It's as if she was playing her own version of, you know, like that reality competition show, Nailed It. But you know, with people's lives and weddings and memories.
Nailed it. I don't mean to laugh, but your princess is terrifying.
only was this wedding planner lying about the kinds of services she could provide for weddings, but when she eventually skipped out on the event entirely, she doubled down with more lies, claiming, that her son had to go emergency surgery, as Alexis revealed with text message screenshots in part 2. Oh yes, she has all of the receipts.
First thing I want to clarify is that excuse that she made up about her son getting emergency surgery was a lie. That
Wild. Where is this going?
was a complete lie.
So this is from the wedding lady. Hi, this is redacted with redacted. I wanted to send you a quick text instead of calling because I wasn't sure what time you were getting up and didn't want to wake you. Yeah, you didn't want to actually have to speak directly to this person that you are scamming allegedly. My team is currently loading up and headed your way with all the decor for Alexis's wedding. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the wedding myself. My 3-year-old son is having emergency surgery this morning due to complications from his leg fracture. This was completely unforeseen and I'm sorry I won't be there. That said, my team is fully prepped and know the plan inside and out. I trust them completely and they have direct access to me by phone if anything comes up. So obviously, if there is a situation, a medical emergency, obviously that has to take precedent. It sounds like, she's creating this facade of doing the right thing of like, there's an emergency happening, don't panic. I've got a team in place that they know what they're doing. But Alexis is saying that this is on some bull.
Like I said, she booked 3 weddings on the same day and she actually attended 1.
Oh, so she attended a wedding and all of that was on some bull. She literally, what do you mean? What do you mean you're using your 3-year-old's leg as a way to get out of the fact that you did a 3 booking? That is unhinged. So here's an email. Redacted was present. Oh, so this is someone coming out with a T. And they were like, this person was present at this place, Country Club, on June 7th, 2025, as a coordinator for a wedding at our venue beginning around 8 a.m. I'm telling y'all, someone is watching. When you're out here scheming and scamming and thieving, somebody's watching.
Bride 1 was booked in October. Me, Bride 2 was booked in November. And Bride 3 was booked in December.
So she literally knew. You have the dates. When they say, can I book you? You look at your calendar and you're supposed to say I'm booked. But she didn't do that. She's like, oh yes, sure, no problem. I'll take your deposit and your deposit and your deposit. Thanks.
The wedding she chose to attend was bride number 1. That means she took calls with me for 7 months, knowing that she was never going to attend and acted like she was going to be there.
That part takes their money and strings them. That's the worst part about it. The stringing them along and thinking that things are being handled. All 7 months. Awful. And then you drop the bomb on them the day of. All I could do at this point is say, this is from the wedding planner. All I could do at this point is say, I'm sorry. No, you could do a lot more than that. Oh, you can issue a refund right now. You can also probably refund them some additional costs that they had to do if they had to go out and fix, your busted ass setup and stuff. There's a lot more you could do. All you could do is say, I'm sorry for anything that caused you stress on your wedding day. For some reasons, the dates were not in my phone. That is on some bull, and I don't believe it. But even if it were true, that is no one's problem but yours. I made a mistake. I think using my phone as my only calendar to record dates was a mistake on my part. I should be using paper to record dates. That is absolutely absurd. There are so many companies that don't use paper. Who's using paper? Well, I love me a good paper to-do list. The ADHD really likes the paper and the color coding. The mistake was not noticed till it was too. When did you notice? When did you notice? Because you didn't notice the morning of. I know you noticed a long time before then. I know probably means nothing to you at this point. I am so sorry. My son did break his leg. I am sorry, Alexis. I never wanted that to happen. Shelves got damaged on transport. Whose fault was that? And what are you doing about it? I get I made your day terrible. I just want you to be aware. Aware of what? Aware of what? Oh, aware of this next line. I'm getting death threats and I don't know if I really deserve that. Oh, I see what the hell's going on. You're not actually sorry, in my opinion. Doesn't seem like you're actually sorry. You only suddenly got sorry because Alexis went to TikTok to tell of her experience, which she has the right to do. And then you're saying you're getting death threats, which, number one, if someone is sending somebody death threats over this don't do that. That is unhinged too. Nobody should be doing that. Never do that. Don't condone anything. You see someone leave a comment like that, tell them to take that down. It's so unnecessary. This person is just messaging apologies because they're getting pushback in comments. And then holding the refund hostage until Alexis takes down her story, telling the truth of what happened.
She had told me from day one that she and her husband would be leading our wedding day. And the proof that I have is that I asked for their meals, and you can see here, they picked out their meals for our wedding.
Wow. In addition, just going through some of my to-do list, this is from Alexis, what meal choice do you and your hubby want? Here are the options. And then she sends a meal. This is less than a month from the wedding. You know exactly the date of the wedding. And then she has the audacity to order some beef and some seafood for you and your husband. Unbelievable.
Another thing I want to clarify is that she did actually send in staff. She sent in 2 people, just to find out, though, that those 2 people are actually just her friends. They have tons of Facebook pictures together. She made it seem like they work under her business, but then weeks later, she turns around and says, I hired 2 employees to work that day, and I could have not have hired anyone to come.
Wow. I hate when people, it's so obnoxious, they scam people, they lie to them, they lead them on for months and months and months, and then they blame them. If I give you a refund, will you please take down your reviews and stop hate messages everywhere? This is not an if and or situation. This is a you owe the refund. You did not deliver the service promised. If I give you a refund, will you stop the messages? I understand we love it when someone spells your without the apostrophe R-E. There's your red flag. You're upset, but I could have not have hired anyone to come. It's literally like there's like threats baked into this. It's like, you're upset, but I didn't have to hire someone to be there at the wedding that I'm not gonna show up at, that I triple booked. That's wild, that type of blame. I was trying to fix the situation, which you have the obligation to do because you took their money and you are not delivering on your service. I made one day of mistake. It sounds like you screwed 2 weddings in that same day. I feel terrible. Your day was so bad. I was trying to protect my mental health. Come on, girl, come on. I have strangers giving me death threats. I'm very scared. I have been crying all day, throwing up. I feel terrible. Your day was so bad. I never had ill intent. Now, once again, in the comments under part 2, even more brides came forward saying they went through the same string of excuses after being ghosted on their big day. One saying, quote, so glad you're sharing this. This business also double booked my wedding day. Imagine just double and triple booking out here and that being what you're doing and thinking that the word is not gonna spread around. Even worse, another bride wrote the following, quote, she used her son's surgery to cancel our venue tour on June 16th. Literally using this multiple times. And literally, I'm just thinking like this poor son of hers is having broken legs every day of the week, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for months on end.
Some guys have all the luck. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms.
So, another client who was in the process of being allegedly scammed, can we call it, make up your own opinions, stumbled upon Alexa's cautionary tale in real time and decided to share her own story in response.
I don't know this girl, but I owe her a drink because I too reached out to this exact company. So before you guys get on this other content creator's case, this is the advertisement. So she was advertising these floral arches for $200. And if you're a bride, you know that's a steal because these things go for like $800, $1,000, easy for rental. So of course I was on it. She was taking like a while to respond to me, which initially I thought was weird for a company, but whatever, I get busy too. Now she didn't have any like reviews online. She didn't even have like a page anymore. And it was called Pop-Up Events in Akron, Ohio. But then I came across this girl's TikTok post and I found her Yelp review. Light went off. She seems like a total nightmare. And I just wanted to say thank you for posting that and Really sorry about your nightmare.
And they say TikTok never did any good. Sometimes it's debatable, but this is a good time. Well, let's look at some of those Yelp reviews now, shall we? Okay, so we've got, a 1.6 stars with 5 one-star reviews and 1 5-star review. So that, I don't know, man, that 0.6 is really doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. I love this, like this first one that says, quote, "Don't do it. Don't sign a contract with Pop-Up. Shame on you." When I was going through these reviews they're horrendous. Like they're actually really, really full. And so many of them backing up all the claims that Alexis made in her video. Quote, here's another one. She sent a Canva questionnaire and then went quiet. Every time I reached out, I was met with "I'm slammed" or "I'm out of town." Our walkthrough, how do you even have a business? And why do you even have a business? If you're just gonna be like telling people "I'm slammed" and like just not, I don't understand that. Our walkthrough didn't happen until late April, and even then she never followed up on layout corrections I requested. I ended up creating a full wedding day binder with every detail outlined from music to seating to decor because she wasn't stepping up. She began tearing down decor before 10 p.m. Our wedding ended at midnight. Oh my gosh, 2 hours early. That's awful, which caused guests to leave early. Oh, that's so sad. We never got our private last dance. Oh, a keepsake mini golf sign she promised we could keep was taken. She stopped responding entirely after the wedding. That is so, you know what? I don't understand. Like, I don't get people, man. I don't get people. It's so easy to just like, you know, not be a dick, but then you're just choosing to be a dick for reasons unknown. I mean, other than like, I guess you're probably just like trying to steal their money. People have caught on, okay? There's a big difference between falling short of expectations and being an outright fraud and a dick. You're a defraud. You're a frick, okay? Don't be a frick.
What? What?
As more Ohioans and now a global audience flooded the comments to validate just how horribly this wedding planner had treated her, Alexis felt empowered to keep going, keep sharing, revealing exactly how the chaos of her wedding day unfolded, essentially leaving a permanent Yelp review of her own, complete with screenshots, receipts, timelines, screenshots, receipts, all that stuff, and all the messy details.
Our venue had a bridesmaid suite and a groomsman suite on site, so we were at the venue the whole entire day just witnessing everything go down. Let's talk about the bar. We were promised 2 beautiful bars, so we hired an extra bartender. This is what we ordered, and this is what we got.
So we saw these images with the photoshopped squares over the top of the bar, ghost image of the ghost guests.
That freaking top of that bar, are you kidding me?
She said, forgot to say, they said the second shelf broke on the way and they didn't even have 2 bars. They didn't even have the 2 bars that they sold to her. They also tried to fix the bar top by wrapping it in a black tablecloth. My gosh, that would look so terrible. I could just envision it.
Bar was deemed unusable. It was not pretty. It was not. We had to have the venue pull out their stock bar. Let's talk about the seating chart.
Thank God the venue had a stock bar, right? Okay, so she's gonna talk about the seating chart.
I told her to duplicate a seating chart that she had sent me.
So this is what she, I'm sorry, the ghosted people. This whole thing is photoshopped. The seating, the whole display, wall display of the seating chart is clearly photoshopped onto a photo of like this brick building. So she got this brick building and she's just like, let me put this square here. And the square doesn't even belong to her, by the way, because that's someone else's wedding work that we saw the guy's Instagram. And then they ghosted all of these people here. I don't even understand the point of having such shitty photoshopping if you're trying to sell a product here. Why is this so bad looking?
And it's not what we got at all.
So this is what she got. There's already a frame on the ground. My gosh.
Names were supposed to be alphabetical, so not by table, alphabetical. They showed up by table. I sent her a Google Excel with all the names.
By table is so much harder for the guest to look at versus having alphabetical. You can easily find your name and then your table assignment versus you have to look at every table.
Double and triple checked that all the names were spelled correctly. Seating chart comes, there's names missing, and there's a lot of spelling errors. Also, tables 7 and 8 were nowhere to be found. That was not included in the stuff that was brought to the venue.
That's absolutely unhinged to just have, a ghost. These guests, table 7 and 8, is just out there on some ghost ship. You are one of these ghosted people down here, okay? Join the opacity crew, the half opacities.
They were supposed to be in a half sheet, frameless picture frame type thing. They showed up full sheet in a very cheap, ugly picture frame with some unapproved floral artwork on the sheets. Never a discussion.
Wild. None of this is what she had paid for and designed and agreed to.
And then the seating chart collapsed.
My gosh. So it completely collapsed. And that's why we got all this stuff on the ground, the flowers and the water, and the guests just desperately trying to hold it together along with everyone's sanity.
Breaking all the flowers, all the flower vases that were my florist, all the picture frames, all the sheets inside the picture frames were then soaked from the water from the vases.
So like it's beyond you owe them a refund, but I feel like you take them to court, they should also be able to sue if they take them to court for like all the additional expenses because she paid for a florist and now the flowers are destroyed. Like that costs money. Flowers are not cheap.
Bless my husband's groomsmen because they went to the store in their suits to go remake a whole entire seating chart.
And they're just here trying to have fun. They're like, we want access to the bar and we want to have a good time.
We hired her for her premium event planning, which was the highest level, which included wedding planning, use of all of her decor and inventory, and also day of coordination.
Y'all, that was her premium package. That was her most expensive package. And also, how are you going to triple book? I mean, I'm over here trying to ask logical questions like, how are you going to triple book and then have all of your resources actually be available for 3 weddings? But then I realized this is the Suspool. The Suspool is where logic has gone to die with people. So they were just probably fully intending to scam people from the beginning, allegedly, maybe, probably, in my opinion.
Another big reason we booked her is because her catalog showed she had gold silverware. He advertised that she had 350 sets, which she then later on told me she actually only had 300. Since we had 168 guests, I had asked her to bring all the extra that she had so we could use the extra forks for dessert for the people who wanted dessert.
Like literally, how are you going to have all of your golden flatware, silverware for 3 weddings when you're using all of them up on one? Oh wait, you were never intending to actually be there and do the wedding. Okay.
Her catalog showed a full set. We don't need the spoon, but we do need the 2 forks, a salad and an entree fork. Also the knife. Day of the wedding, 1 fork and a knife showed up.
Wow. Ugh.
So we didn't even get the full set. And the extra forks were never received. So we actually had to send a guest out to buy forks for dessert.
Like imagine these guests are having to do this and like when are they discovering it? Before I don't know, they could have to run out during the what do you call it? The reception?
Next, I want to talk about the chandeliers. She had advertised all these big, beautiful chandeliers on her Instagram and social media pages, which caught our eye and we wanted to use. The chandeliers came the wedding day and got set up. And there were pieces dangling and falling on the ground.
Oh no, look at the bottom. Look at the bottom of the chandelier. It's all busted. They're not strung correctly. They're falling apart. This is so unprofessional.
What's actually funny about the chandeliers is she had actually tried to defend herself in the comments on Facebook, trying to say the chandeliers were fixed before the reception. And I responded back with a picture from our photographer with the chandeliers still dangling and falling apart while all the guests are seated for reception and when we were doing our grand entrance.
Come through with the receipts. So planner says chandeliers fixed before guests were there and sends a picture. And it's like this tiny, very distant photo. What I do notice is that there aren't the forks that you promised in the photo. And she replies and says, another lie. Bread on the tables in this one too. Chandeliers still dangling. Not sure what you were trying to show in your pic is you can't even see the chandeliers. So they post a photo and you can't even see the chandeliers in there. Oh, and there's a close-up of the busted ass chandelier. Yes, you can see them all dripping and dangling, not stitched, strung up correctly. What a mess. Flowers are gorgeous. Really beautiful. Oh, that's such a beautiful wedding photo. Good for them. I hope they can have some good memories here. Great suit. She looks stunning. Everyone is smiling and happy. You know, you make the best of what you can.
Another part of the story is the charger plates. And in her catalog, I had picked out a charger plate, and then this is what we got.
What we ordered, thin, trim, beautiful, what we got. Oh, this like a double, I don't know what you call that in the center. There's like other additional rings. It kind of looks like the tray of a microwave, and those little ridges are there to help it rotate.
They actually arrived with all the tags still stickered on them. Charger plates were clear, so they obviously needed to be removed.
No! Diabolical.
Sat there with blow dryers trying to get all the price tags off of them.
Oh my gosh. Oh
and
no.
And 3 different types actually arrived, and they were all dirty. They needed to be Windexed.
No. You got good friends. Girl, you got good friends out there just scrubbing away.
So obviously with all of these mess ups, this created a ton of chaos and stress during the day. We had our bridesmaids, our groomsmen, our family, florists, our other vendors running around scrambling, trying to pick up all the broken pieces and pull everything off. My mom was setting the tables with the charger plates. She was laying out the menus and name tags. And because it was pure...
And that's so sad because they're there to enjoy this special, very special day, especially her mom. It's also kind of their special day too. They're seeing their child step into this next phase of life, this beautiful phase.
A lot of things that were supposed to happen didn't end up happening, which is really sad. For example, we decided we were not doing a first look. Ended up not having time to do the bridesmaids pictures, which then had to be done after the ceremony. We had extended out our cocktail hour for an hour and a half, so that way we could attend cocktail hour for a little bit. But with the pictures being pushed back, we weren't able to make our cocktail hour at all.
Like imagine all of these things you've planned for your wedding. Here's what I want. Here's what I want it to look like. Here's how I want the guests to be received and be happy and comfortable. I want to do this. And you're having to things just are canceling. You can't do this. We don't have time for this. We gotta, like, it's just absolute chaos and so sad.
I have the hardest time with, and the thing that upsets me most looking back is just all that lost time spent with our family and friends. Yeah. You know, it's your wedding day. It's a once in a lifetime day. You're supposed to be spending that good quality time with your closest friends and family, and it just didn't happen.
And she can't ever get that time back. So, you know it's bad when the wedding planner allegedly blocked Alexis, but still managed to keep the feud alive through a series of messy Facebook comments. Like, is it really that hard to just not be a dick, not be a frick, and give this woman her money back? You would literally avoid so much more stress. Just pay the money back. I want my money.
You need to relax.
And what makes this public Facebook fallout even more chaotic, dear Suspirians, is where it all went down. Within the walls of a Facebook group literally dedicated to exposing this wedding planner and her sham company, Pop-Up Event Planning. The page's name says it all. Quote, "Beware of Pop-Up Event Planning LLC." So y'all know, of course, the moment I see a Facebook group that involves something other than your aunt reposting the same cat video for the 100th time or your uncle yelling about some political conspiracy, y'all know there's only one thing left for me to do. Join the Facebook group, of course. And let me tell you, don't you dare piss off the brides, honey. Okay, you're gonna have a little Chucky bride situation here. And more power to them, I love to see it. They came with the full force of the fiery wrath of 1,000 angry brides, the type of energy rivaled by only the wrath of a gang of kittens. If you dare ignore the cat distribution system, don't you dare.
He's on the side of the road. Yeah, get killed for sure. Someone just, oh no, it's a whole, oh my gosh, I can't take y'all.
The group's description says, quote, "This group is to warn future brides of the company Pop-Up Event Planning LLC, owned by Redacted. Please be aware of the scam business they are running and do not give them your money. If you would like to hear personal experiences of previous brides or future brides who have been robbed of their money, join this group. If you are a bride and are having or had negative bad experiences with this company, we would love to hear." And oh, the tea is piping in here. So there are about 64 members of this group and 10 plus people who have posted, some anonymously, about their awful experiences working with the owner, and a lot of them trying to figure out who's gotten their money back and who's filing lawsuits in small claims court, which, again, if you were scammed, then absolutely file a small claims against them. With one bride-to-be even mentioning that she came across this page just in the nick of time. Quote, so incredibly grateful for this group. I was searching for her and couldn't find her and ran into this group. My wedding is next month and she won't respond to my text. Does anyone have her email? Going to try to issue a charge back with my bank. Please issue the charge back if you haven't already. And sometimes banks get a little weird about that, but just go ahead. She's not providing the service. If you made a deposit, please take the first step. But also, I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, you couldn't find her, right? This is wild. So it seems like the reason this client couldn't, find, the allegedly scamming owner anywhere online is because since Alexis called her out and rallied the bride brigade, the owner deleted all of her pop-up pages. All the company pages just gone. They're just vanished. When you go to her event page, Linktree, the root of all 2025 small businesses, all the links listed there lead nowhere, including her website. And as one user in the group points out, it appears her husband, who allegedly showed up to more of the weddings than she did, and I'm also like, is he working when he goes to these weddings, or is he simply eating the food and drinking from the bar? That's the question I would have. But he did recently list a bunch of wedding supplies for sale on Facebook Marketplace. I hate it here.
Living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Oh yeah, you can find them at the market. We talking about flea market.
Writing in the description of the listing, quote, up for sale is a ton of wedding/party decor, and tell me what you're looking for and I'll give you a price. The more you take, the better. He's literally trying to sell the evidence, people. Okay? Don't know how else to look at that. Amid being exposed as complete frauds, allegedly, the pop-up events planners were left with no choice but to sell off their assets, especially as Alexis and several other furious clients prepared to take them to court.
We're going to speak with our attorney tomorrow, and you will probably hear back from us following day, in which we didn't, were our text messages following.
Can you be available 12:30 for a call, since you never got back to us on Wednesday as you had said you would? The wedding planner. This is a month later, July, literally a month after the wedding. My apologies. I am not free today, but I can do evening tomorrow. Anytime after 6 works. Let me know what works for you. Also, when you sent the letter, there were 2 copies in the mailbox, but one had no postage on it. Did you or someone you know put that in my mailbox? She replies, just tell me, redacted. Are you and redacted going to be doing anything at all to make this right? Meaning, I ain't got time for your bullshit. I don't give one shit about if there's postage on a letter or not. What are you gonna do to make us whole in this situation? What are you gonna do to refund and repair?
I didn't get a response back to those last couple messages. That's when I decided it's time to post my review. So I went onto Google, posted it on Google under her business page, and it was immediately taken down within minutes afterward. Not just my review, but her whole entire Google page.
Wow, within minutes that bitch was gone, wiped out. Page just disappeared into the night. Well, probably along with the opacity crew, the ghost crew.
She then tried to repost her Google page, and I posted again, and then it got taken down again. I couldn't get my review to stay up anywhere. That's when I posted it on my personal Facebook page, and then that's when the text messages started flowing in.
Because you posted somewhere that she can't control.
That's also when all the other brides who had used her from the point of my wedding until my review started all reaching out as well.
So it says from the wedding planner, I will give you a refund. Oh, you got it in writing. Literally, that's all. If she takes us to court, you now have it in writing. I will give you a refund. Can you please stop bashing me online? I don't think there was any bashing. I think she was giving an honest retelling of her perception of the events that took place and how you didn't show up. I think she was just telling her story. I didn't hear her belittle you or do ad hominem attacks. I think she's purely talking about the business and sharing the messages. Goes on, I did the best I could. I have 2 kids, Alexis. Come on now, you can't do that shit. Stop bringing your kids into this. This is a mess that you created. Like, I don't know what to say. If not for me, for them. That is such a wild statement. I never wanted your day to go this badly. I'm sorry. I worked really hard. Please don't do this to me. This is not her doing something to you personally. This is her giving her honest review on your business when you screwed them and many, many, many other wedding parties. Alexis replies, I'd accept our refund via cash or cashier's check. Smart, so she can't do any type of chargebacks. I will have someone meet you tomorrow by 2 p.m. Wedding planner replies, if I give you, so now it's if. Now we're back to the if. If I give you a refund, will you please take down your reviews and stop hate messages everywhere? I understand there's the your, upset, but I could have not have hired. Okay, so this is back to where she showed I could have not have hired anyone. So this is now we saw the glimpse before that, a little more context.
Can we also talk about the fact she said, if you're not going to do it for me, do it for my kids, when you are the one who literally lied about your kid being in emergency surgery? The name I have scribbled out in those last messages is bride number 3, who came forward once she saw my Facebook post.
She replies, listen to how you're talking still about yourself. Very good. Very good response. Ooh, Alexis is a Suspirian. Welcome, welcome. So I'm sorry we had to meet under these unfortunate circumstances, but well spoken. Still about yourself, playing victim, still shifting the blame, this time on redacted. It seems like the only reason you're apologizing now is because you're feeling the consequences. Let's be honest, you never would have apologized if things hadn't escalated to this point. Were you thinking of your kids when you made up a lie about your 3-year-old needing emergency surgery? Were you thinking of your kids when you promised to be at 3 places at once and how that could affect your business? No. Very, very well constructed. So continuing on, and you never consider the repercussions of your actions and now you're freaking out crying. What about my tears? What about my mom and my mother-in-laws? You had a bad day. What about having a bad day? The biggest day of your life. You didn't make 1 day of mistakes. You made 7 months. 7 months of mistakes as soon as you took on 2 weddings at once. Then even more mistakes when you took that count up to 3. What about myself and our family's mental health who have been suffering the past month since the wedding happened? Thinking of all the time that was supposed to be spent together, lost, and also the money, right? The money. Tomorrow we will meet you at the McDonald's or redacted. It needs to be before 2. Let me know what time you will be there. The post will be removed once the cash or cashier's check is in our hands. It's interesting that she's even willing to do that. So planner responds, all I can do at this point is say I'm sorry for anything that caused you stress on your wedding day for some reasons. And this is where she blames the phone. And then at the bottom of this is when she says, how do I know you won't take it down or repost after I give you the money? So she's still holding on to this refund as if she rightfully should and could be able to do that and not get sued.
The picture I have scribbled out is a picture of her son in the hospital, but what I don't think she knows is that if you save the picture into your camera roll, it will actually tell you the date that it was taken. And that picture was taken on May 27th and our wedding was on June 7th.
What I hate about this is her sending a photo of her child to a client. That is so unprofessional.
She then tried to have us sign an NDA in exchange for a refund in which we were going to consider until she said it was only going to be for a partial refund.
This is wild. You're wanting them to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, after she's already disclosed. She had already posted her review. It has been disclosed, honey. And so she's trying to have an NDA. Why? So you could just scam other people? That is some audacity.
Not for a full refund, which we then kindly declined, and which you'll see in my next messages.
Keeping my prices as cheap as they were made me insanely busy, and I was not able to keep everything straight. Again, that's not the client's fault. I made mistakes, and I'm so sorry. I don't plan on doing this ever again. I really wish I could make it better for you, and I know that I can't. Alexis put red text over here saying, literally no-showed another wedding she promised to attend the same day they sent me this message. Oh my gosh. This is giving scam everywhere. This is giving scam everywhere. And so then the wedding planner also makes the request, would you sign a Oh, there's a bullet point here. This was a Chat GPT. She took Chat GPT to write this, and it gave a bullet point. Signed, a release of liability and a waiver agreement is a legal document. Oh my gosh, she didn't even try to hide. She didn't even request the NDA and then define it. She just copied and pasted Chat GPT defining what an NDA is. That is so unhinged. I was not expecting that at all. A release of liability waiver is a legal document where one party, the client in this case, agrees not to hold another, you, responsible for specific actions or events. Wow, but you are responsible. You literally wrote it in your own messages, not the chat messages. In your own, you said that you made a mistake. Several times you said that, and you apologized a million times. In a court of law, they're gonna look at that as an admission of guilt. And you also said in writing, I will give you a refund. Man, we need like really compelling music at this point for reading all of this. Send me an email for me to review and sign, and let me know tonight what time you would like me to meet. I am on the edge of my seat. Planner says, we are willing to refund you half of what you spent. Oh, so now it's just half. Now it's just half. So then she just take down half of her review. I hope this can satisfy our contract. It doesn't. I am willing to mail it to you with a cashier's check. What is a good address? The reason for half is for hours spent in vendors' meetings and walkthroughs, use of our rentals, your shit rentals that crashed and exploded everywhere, and use of our staff that worked that day, your staff. And then she sent over an agreement. Alexis responds. Let's continue the compelling music. While I appreciate your counter offer, I like Alexis's energy. While I appreciate your counter offer, there is no discussion to be had other than a full refund. And she didn't need ChatGPT to say it. You should take what I am saying at face value and know that there are only two options. I am giving you, number one, a full refund, or number two, court. Oh, Suspiria. Give her an honorary doctorate on the campus of Suspiria. I am so here for this. Well done. Well done, Alexis. We applaud you here. Well done. Hours for all the items at my bridal party. Had to go out and purchase hours before my wedding. In addition, I am not charging you the man hours it took you want to talk about your staff? Let's talk about our staff. I'm not charging you the man hours it took my bridal party and family to rebuild and set up what you and your people didn't. I'm being very generous by allowing you to give me a refund. Ooh, the petty, I love it. I can promise you if this goes to court, there will be more money requested for pain and suffering, as well as the reimbursement costs for all of the items we purchased the day of the wedding. The choice is yours. I'm not going back and forth with you. We love a prompt queen here. Again, you have until 2 o'clock today to deliver a cashier's check for a full refund. I expect a response or will be filing with the courts on Monday. You have been duly noted. And here the planner replies. Online, you said you wanted a partial refund. Stop, Susan. What is going on here? Which I am trying to make right. In person is danger to my safety given I have been sent death threats on my website. Wild. I'm trying to make this right. I know you are doing me a grace. I appreciate you so much for that. I am just really scared. I never gone through anything like this before. For safety reasons and services rendered, that is our offer. Is tough to read. If court is what you feel is right, we will go to court to countersue for defamation and loss of business. The audacity. Wild. Unbelievable. Unhinged. Suspool. You're not wading in the waters of the Suspool. You're not in the deep end of the Suspool. You're under the Suspool at this point. You have a scuba tank. You're so deep in it. So for safety reasons, of course, the right will go to countersue for defamation and loss of business. When we get summoned, we will show up. Alexis responds, oh, this is just, wow. You may want to consult a lawyer regarding what defamation of character means. Alexis, I adore you. Well done. Well done. Quote, Defamation of character, or simply defamation, occurs when someone publishes a false statement about a person that harms their reputation. It's essentially the act of damaging someone's reputation through false statements. They have to knowingly be false statements, and it can be either written or spoken, and usually there has to be some type of malice with it. My review was completely factual, and I will see you in court along with your other brides seeking the maximum penalty small claims will allow. And this wedding planner has the audacity to reply, "Done talking, I'll see you in court." And why do I not believe that they will show up?
So that's how all communication has been left off. We have yet spoken since those last messages, and we are still attempting to get a refund. We have over a dozen brides now who have reached out, and we've all been in communication. When all these other girls start to come forward with their stories, it's just crazy because we all feel like the new person is just telling our story again. They are all so similar, and it's just a shame how many people have fallen victim to this and how she is refusing to give a single one of us any money back.
So it seems like after all of the earned backlash, the Suspool scammer is going to once again try to skirt any responsibility by filing for bankruptcy. So according to Zen Business, quote, "A reorganization bankruptcy or Chapter 11 bankruptcy works best for LLCs that need debt relief, or in this case, need to get away with scamming their clients, I guess, but don't want to stop operating. Basically, the LLC retains possession of its business assets, but it makes a voluntary petition to create an amended repayment plan. Sometimes this entails paying creditors less than the contracted amount or expanding the period of time to repay one or more debts," which is honestly just such a bullshit for grifters to get away with screwing people over, in my opinion. It's a common tactic used by scam artists and con people to keep their operation going despite not having the funds to do so. And when you search for their company on the official Ohio Secretary of State Business Registry, it shows their business license is frighteningly still active.
What we do know is at least one other bride has filed small claims against her. And as I noted in the last video, we have not filed with small claims because she has told one of the other brides that she is going to be filing for bankruptcy. And in court, since she's protected under an LLC, if she has an open case against her, it will get dropped if you file for bankruptcy.
And get this, even with all of the deleted social media pages, y'all, I'm so tired, the owner is still posting her party services for rent on Facebook Marketplace under a different name, with over 20 active listings in Akron, Ohio. Be on the lookout, beware, people. Okay, if you're in the area, please be careful. And also, because on top of that, it gets worse somehow. We're in the Suspool, of course it does. With those listings, she is including more stolen fancy wall photos, literally still using other people's photos, this time from Luna Design Studios. So we went ahead and messaged somebody. Oh, it's been a year. It's been a year, friends. Suspirians. We did what we do. We went ahead and messaged this Facebook Marketplace listing with the default, the default message, "Is this available?" message. And well, we got back a response from the queen alleged grifter herself within only 20 minutes. So very quick response time. Asking the question, what is the event date? This is diabolical. But what do you think, Suspirians? Should we book a Suspool pop-up event? Okay, just invite all the sus. Susan can be the grandmaster of the event.
We also filed a police report against her. Many of us have filled out with the Ohio Attorney General and sent in all of our evidence for them, and that's currently under investigation. And the last step that we are currently in the process of is disputing with our credit card company. This may take some time. It says it could be about 60 to 90 days, but this is the one we're really hoping for because this would just be the easiest. I submitted 35 pieces of evidence and documentation to prove my dispute, and they would then either rule in her favor or our favor. So fingers crossed, because that would just put an end to all of this, and that would be the easiest outcome.
This story truly shows the double-edged sword that the internet can be. On one hand, scammers can steal photos and info to trick innocent people into purchasing their grift bags. And on the other hand, people who are harmed by, con artists can speak up, use their voice, and rally together to try to seek justice as a united front. And I wish them all the best.
I see all your guys' comments. I see you saying sue, sue, sue. We are working on it, and like I said, we're in the process of still trying to figure out how to handle all of this and the best way to go about everything.
At the end of this day, the scammer might have stripped the Etsy core eleganza from Alexis's wedding, but one thing that she could never take away was the love between this genuinely adorable couple. They're very charming, and I, for one, wish them a very happy, healthy marriage outside of the cesspool. Okay, Suspirians, time to step out of the dark waters of the cesspool. Grab a towel, gently dab off if you've got Halloween makeup on, or just wipe it all off. That's what I got. What do y'all think of this story? These stories, every time I come across one of these, it's just like, what are we doing here, people? Just don't be a dick. Instead of being a dick, take a nap. I said that's my new mantra. Take a nap, people. If you're feeling cranky, if you're feeling like doing something diabolical, take a nap. You'll probably feel better, and then maybe you won't be a dick or a frick. Leave your thoughts in the comments about this story. Has anything like this ever happened to you? Like, have you ever planned like a wedding or an event, maybe a birthday or something, and someone just scammed or like didn't deliver in the way that they said? Share your story if you'd like. If you want to hear more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel and tickle the like button for more, and let me know in the comments if you have any stories that you would like us to dip into. I have a full-length Swoop doc deep dive on my main channel, and finally, I know there's been a couple of delays here, but finally I have the Kendra, the woman who fell in love with her psychiatrist. That video will be posting in a couple of days from now on my main channel. It should be up on Monday, which I believe is November 3rd. Very latest, it would be Tuesday, but everything is coming together right after Halloween. You'll have a full-length deep dive. I've spent a very long time on it, and there is also a very powerful interview that is being featured in this Swoop doc that you definitely want to check out. We're going to dive into an area of this story that no one else is talking about. I also have some audio and video recordings from the psychiatrist that I have not heard covered. We are going to cover it in a very specific way, and I think it's really going to open a lot of the conversation around this story and another even broader story that I think is so important. So make sure you're subscribed to that channel, turn on notifications so you know exactly when it comes out. Check me out on Instagram because I always post a countdown of exactly when it'll be coming out on Instagram stories. A huge thank you to our channel members. I so appreciate you being here. I hope you are loving using the stickers. I love seeing them in the comments. And also a big thank you to our Patreon members. You can join our Patreon community for exclusive access to 4 more videos per month. That's 4 more exclusive, uncensored, unfiltered videos per month, plus you get the entire back catalog of Patreon videos, all those that are only available there, including the podcast and extended episodes, all of that uncensored stuff that I can't do here. And I just love our Patreon community so much. It is such a beautiful, wonderful community of just wonderful critical thinkers. We have a lot of laughs over there. It's really a good time. If you want to join, it's linked below. You can also grab your very own pieces from the Suspool collection season 1, and we still have pieces from the Valid Ribcage and Unbroken collections, so have fun with those. I love seeing your photos when you tag me on Instagram of you wearing those. Also, again, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Bluesky, all of that's linked below. I post most often on Instagram. Also, dear Suspirians, don't forget, make your life easier. Skip the grocery store, the meal prep, the dishes, and make it more delicious. And head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SWOOP2FB50. That's SWOOPTOOFB50 to get 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code SWOOP2FB50 at factor75.com and treat yourself, honey. You deserve it. Thanks for coming for a swim. Have a good day out there. Happy Halloween. Keep it creepy, keep it cute, and I'll see you next time in the cesspool. Swoop!